Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
David Brickley, or Levi David Brickley. Try this again.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. We are on the record in 2025, TR 822, State of Kansas versus Levi David Brickley. Jared Revere for the state, Mr. Brickley in person and pro se. Mr. Brickley, in count one, you're accused of driving 87 miles per hour in a 70-mile-per-hour zone. This is a traffic infraction. It carries no jail time, but there is a scheduled fine of $87 plus your court costs of $114. In count two, you're charged with driving without the required ignition interlock following a DUI. That is a Class A non-person misdemeanor. The sentence could be up to 12 months. The fine could be up to $2,500. You do have the right to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed, or you can waive your right and represent yourself. Do you wish to have an attorney, Mr. Brickley?
No, I will waive my right and represent myself.
All right. Well, this could be a serious charge. It could have an effect on your license. Are you sure you don't want to talk to an attorney?
Yes,
Yes, you're sure?
I'm sure.
All right. Is anyone making you waive your right to an attorney?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And then I will have the record reflect that you're knowingly and voluntarily waiving your right to counsel. And how do you want to plead to driving 87 in a 70?
I will plead guilty.
Guilty. And how do you wish to plead to count two, driving without required ignition interlock?
I plead guilty.
By pleading guilty, you're admitting that you did do both of these charges.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anyone making you enter these pleas today by threats or promises?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you're giving up your right to a trial, that you'll probably be found guilty and unable to appeal your convictions?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that a finding of guilt could, I don't know that it would, but it could have some consequences on your driver's license in Topeka?
Yes, I do understand.
Oh, well. And tell me what you were driving. Were you speeding 87 when the speed limit was 70?
Yes, Your Honor. I was going to a men's retreat at my church, and it was first thing in the morning. It was like 6:45 in the morning, and it was just dusk. My friend doesn't see very well when he drives, and he asked me to drive, and I made the stupid decision. I told him yes, I would drive, and we were in the middle of a conversation. I normally don't drive his vehicle because I drive mine that has the ignition interlock in it that I stay on top of, but I chose to drive his vehicle. I'm not used to driving it and wasn't paying attention to my speed, and I slipped up and I made a mistake in both ways.
All right. So your vehicle that you normally drove had an ignition interlock as required, but his didn't, and you hadn't intended to drive it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And was this April 12th of 2025?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the officer says 6:37 in the morning. That sounds right to you from what you've said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And were you on K254 highway somewhere around mile marker 22 west?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where was that? Right outside of El Dorado, or?
Yes, we had just passed, what is that, 196 that goes up to Newton. I just went under that.
Okay. And the speed limit posted was 70, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were going 87. Okay. And at the time, you've told me you didn't have the ignition interlock. So I find that you do know what you're doing, and you're doing it voluntarily with this plea. And you've given me a basis for it, so I will find you guilty of both 1 and 2. Mr. Regier, recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor. With respect to count 1, the speeding, the state is prepared to recommend the scheduled fine as well as the imposition of court costs. With respect to count 2, the state is prepared to recommend a suspended jail sentence of 8 months as well as a $100 fine. The state is further recommending a 12-month probation period. The state has no objection to that being a non-reporting probationary period, given the circumstances of this case.
Very well. Mr. Brickley, you don't have to say anything, but you're welcome to before I pronounce your sentence.
I don't have anything I need to say, but I apologize that first time we tried to jump on and I couldn't get it working. So
No, you're fine. I appreciate the fact that you're here timely. You make a respectful presentation of your appearance, and I appreciate that. So at this time, I wanted to double check the fine. I think I looked it up and I remember what it was. The scheduled fine on count 1, 87 and a 70 is $87, and that will be the order of the court. On count 2, the court will impose a $100 fine along with court costs of $108 for a total due of, I believe that's $305. Your sentence will be 8 months, but that will be suspended provided you successfully complete a 12-month non-reporting probation. You will not have to see a probation officer, but for 12 months, you will still be on probation. The conditions are pretty straightforward. The first one is don't violate any laws during this 1 year. The second is pay the total due. And when can you pay that? Can you do that within 30 days?
I will head that way after we get done here.
All right, I'm just going to make it within 30 days, but if you can go to the courthouse and pay personally, that'd be great. Then that means all you have to do is don't violate any laws. And the other thing, the third condition, is you do need to get your picture and prints taken. I don't think you've done that yet.
No, I have not.
I don't know if they could fit you in while you're headed that way or not, but I'll put you in a breakout room with court security too, and he'll tell you when they need you to go out there and do that.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, I believe the court had previously referred to certain administrative penalties pursuant to KSA 81017 subsection C. Beyond that, I have nothing further.
Oh, you're talking about, I don't know the number you're referencing. Is that the one that Topeka might deal with him? Or
That is the state's understanding based off a reading of the statute, Your Honor.
All right. Well, I don't think I have to suspend. They'll take care of that if they need anything, right?
Your Honor, pursuant to KSA 81017 subsection C, two, quote, in addition to any other penalties provided by law on a conviction of a violation of subsection A4, the divisions shall restart the original ignition airlock restriction period on the person's driving privileges.
All right. So that's the division doing that. And they've either contacted you or they will if they want to restart your time period or whatever they want to do, Mr. Brickley. But
Yes,
that's
Your Honor.
outside my bailiwick.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. Okay, you may go at this time, but go into the breakout room with court security too. Look for the invitation to a breakout room on your screen.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Jonathan Newkerk. We are on the record in 2025 TR1 State versus Jonathan Wade Newkerk. Jared Regier for the state, Mr. Newkerk in person. Mr. Newkerk, in count 1, you're charged with driving while suspended. The B misdemeanor with up to 6 months in jail and a fine anywhere from $100 to $1,000. In count 2, you're charged with registration or tag violation, unclassified misdemeanor, penalties up to $2,500 in fines and 30 days to 6 months in jail. And count 3, driving without proof of insurance, a B misdemeanor. Minimum fine $300 up to $1,000 and a possible 6-month sentence. But probation is an option in all of these. Mr. Newkerk, do you intend to have an attorney? You can hire one or apply for court appointed. Of course, you can always waive it, but do you want to hire or apply?
I mean, yeah, probably because I was unaware that my license was suspended, and I thought I was on a.
You don't have to say anymore. You've got some significant issues here. So, are you employed at this time, Mr. Newkerk?
I'm not.
And how long have you been unemployed?
Maybe a year or so.
Okay. Any sources of income?
No.
And who supports you at this time?
Basically my dad.
Okay.
All
right. Well, I am going to appoint attorney Darren Patterson. Have you had Mr. Patterson before?
I haven't, but I have met him. I know of him. So.
All right. So you know his office is across from the courthouse. And do you have a pencil to write down his number?
Shoot. No. I'm sure I could. Can I find it online? I should be able to find it.
Do you have a telephone that you can write it on?
Yeah, here, let me try that.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. All righty.
You call him as soon as court is over and tell him your court date is. We still have 1 or 2 left on September 22nd, Destiny?
Yes, Your Honor, it's the last one.
All right, September 22nd at 8 a.m., Mr. Newkirk.
All right. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. And you are on bond. I will continue that bond with the added condition that you call Mr. Patterson today and you be back here with him at 8 o'clock, September 22nd.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything further, Mr. Regier?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll take up Denise Jones. On the record in 2020. Hello. We're on the record in 2025, TR 779, State of Kansas versus Denise N. Jones. Jared Regier appears for the state. Ms. Jones appears in person and pro se. Ms. Jones, it looks like you're here on 1 count of driving while suspended after a prior conviction.
Yes, ma'am.
That prior conviction does elevate this to a Class A, which means not only is your fine up to $2,500, but you're also looking at a mandatory must serve 5 days minimum in jail up to a year. Because of the potential mandatory jail time, do you want to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed?
Court appointed, because I'm on a fixed income and I have me and my son, so.
Okay.
I don't know how much the court appointed would be.
Well, if you're found guilty, you may have to pay a portion of the fees based on your ability, if any. If you don't have any ability to pay, you won't pay. If you could pay, you might pay up to maybe $250. But tell me, you said you're on a fixed income. What is that income?
I get disability.
Okay, and is that about $900 or $1,400?
It's $987.
Okay, and you have a minor son that you support, or is he an adult?
Yeah, he's 4.
4? Oh, he's not even close to adult. Okay. And no other income?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to appoint an attorney. Are you able to write down his name and number?
Yes, ma'am.
It's Darren, Darren.
Okay.
Traditional spelling of Patterson, Patterson. His phone
Okay,
number is 316
okay,
322
322
7700.
7700.
Two sevens, two zeros.
Okay, and 3 and 2 twos.
Yes, a 3 and 2 twos, then 2 sevens
Okay,
and 2 zeros. 322 7700.
okay,
And I'm going to set your court date for Monday, October 6th at 8 a.m. by Zoom again.
okay. October 6th.
Yes,
Okay,
8 in the morning, 8 a.m.
okay,
All right. And then one other thing I need you to do, Miss Jones, is to accept an invitation on your screen shortly to a breakout room. You're going to
okay,
get your picture and prints taken, and I'm going to
okay.
set your bond at 2,500 OR. You won't have to put the money up unless you come to court or fail to go out and get your picture and prints taken.
Where do I take my pictures at?
The officer will tell you that when you get in the breakout room with him.
Okay,
So the next thing you're going to do is take the invitation to the breakout room and talk to the officer. Then you're going to go talk to Darren Patterson by telephone.
okay.
You're going to be back here on that date in October. And don't forget to go out and get your picture and prints taken somewhere in between at the date and time he gives you, which will probably be just in a day or two,
Yes, ma'am.
maybe a week or two. I don't know. All right. Anything else, Miss Jones?
Ma'am, you have a great day.
You too. Anything further, Mr. Aguirre from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. We'll be in recess.